Hey everybody, and welcome to No Story is Sacred. If you've never listened before, basically we're four siblings who grew up talking about the art of storytelling. Now that we're adults, we're still talking about it, and we're inviting you to join the conversation. I'm Brendan, and ha!
Hey, look, listen, I'm Pippin.
And I'm Alex, and my nerdiness never perishes. It is born anew in a cycle with no end.
You know, if we had played this better, Pip, you could have done a Zelda line. Now it's like...
Oh shit, Oh.
Well, you could have called one of us a fairy boy from the forest, so...
I mean, Sheik's quotes are pretty cool.
Oh, I'm happy to finally reveal the secret. Oh.
There we go. Good. We're keeping that.
I didn't finish the line, even though it's my thing I always fucking say. Yeah, every time someone, realizes usually an obvious thing, I just sort of put my hand on their shoulder and go, I'm glad I can finally reveal this secret to you. And that's mostly, I admit, because I'm a bitch.
So,
Oh, and Kat got lost in Kokiri Forest.
In Lost Woods.
Because of that, yeah, she's now a Stalfos.
Everybody's Stalfos.
Stalfos.
We decided to just, kind of still record an episode because, you know what? We care about the craft. We decided to talk about just the Legend of Zelda franchise.
Because Kat doesn't like it. So
Kat doesn't like a lot of video game stuff, so while the cat's away, the mice play video games?
I
Yes.
guess. I mean, that scans.
It does. All right. So, again, just to reiterate, today we're talking about the video game franchise, The Legend of Zelda. So, spoilers abound for that series. If you want specific content warnings about things we might talk about, check out the show notes at nostoryyssacred.com. Now, for those of you who've never played The Legend of Zelda, the summary according to Zelda.com is... Journey to the Kingdom of Hyrule and discover the timeless battles between good and evil and the secrets of the all-powerful Triforce. And that's it.
That's it. That's the game.
I mean,
For how many games?
Well, a lot of times you're not in Hyrule.
there's a lot of times there's no Triforce.
Wait. Could you argue that you're in a Hyrule that's not called Hyrule yet, or hasn't been for a long time?
Sometimes no.
What the shit, Zelda.com?
I mean, sometimes they're in another, either in another dimension, in a dream,
In the afterlife.
in another dimension that might be a dream, or
I asked the question, even though I don't think I've actually played it myself because I am a fake game girl. But I at least watched other people play Majora's Mask, and that's in Termina, and you guys, I failed us. I failed us all.
It's okay, Pep. It's okay. We support you.
Thank you.
So, let's just kind of delve deep into, I guess, our personal history with it. I remember my first encounter with Legend of Zelda was with the NES, but not one that I owned. This is a strange little bit of trivia from my own personal history. The first time I ever played it was on an NES at Jane Yolen's house.
really?
Our lives are weird.
Well, because every year after one of the conventions, there'd be a party that was hosted there, and
Yeah.
Lord knows I was awkward kid, and there was a Nintendo there.
Are you talking about her New Year party? The sort of winterish?
Yeah, it was BossCon time, so yeah.
Yeah. I say New Year, I mean, what do I know? I would have been very tiny at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just remember that's where I first encountered it and not understanding anything that was going on and honestly not having enough time to really commit to actually mastering it.
Yeah.
But then the first one that I think I got to play fully at length because we had a Sega Genesis at home as far as full on consoles was concerned. Mm-hmm. That's a story for another time there. Look up Mortal Kombat. Haha.
Is that how we got that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was really written off as research.
The listeners don't need to know the backstory. Yet. Add Mortal Kombat to the list. No joke.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. But then I got Ocarina of Time on the N64 for Christmas one year, and then just marathoned it through the rest of that vacation. It was like one where like the entire family was all gathered.
Oh yeah, I remember that Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Like, our aunt was nearby and just marveled at the graphics.
Yeah, because the last thing she'd seen was like Pong.
Yup.
So wait, that was the Christmas with Grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird Christmas.
It was. I got to play Zelda. That's all I remember.
We would wake up so goddamn early.
I feel like Mario 64 was also involved.
Yes.
Because I remember Grandma complaining about hearing the music in her dreams.
Worth it.
And it is so baked into our minds that whenever her, like, cat wakes up to hearing us play a video game in another room, it gives her such a nostalgia boost that she is instantly awake.
Aww. Alex, let's do that next time we're at her place.
Yes.
Cat, don't listen. Cat, forget what you heard.
It will be a surprise.
Surprise!
So yeah, that's my, kind of history. And then I, after that point was hooked on the series. I went back and played through like all the other Zelda games that I could, like including, except for like the weird CDI ones.
Did you even play manage to play, Adventure of Link?
Zelda 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. When?
In college.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm already so lost.
So yeah, that's kind of like my kind of relationship with it. Like, hooked on it ever since.
Like, no surprise, my first one was Ocarina as well, because I was there watching you play it.
I think you had slot 2.
I took slot 2, yeah. And Kat, actually, I think she played it like a year later and called her character Lackwit.
I thought it was Nitwit.
That was Lackwit.
Lackwit.
I remember that much.
Because when you name your character, all the other characters call them that. So, this great wise owl, because of reasons, would go, "Hey, Lackwit."
I think it's the classier way of naming your character dumbass.
Yeah.
Like she would.
And it also because it ends with an L, so hey.
Oh yeah, the Legend of Lackwit.
The first one that I owned was the Wind Waker.
For GameCube, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
And I got that one too for Christmas.
I tell you, Wind Waker's one of those ones that I just like to load up just to, like, relax.
Oh yeah. For the longest time, I would play Wind Waker at least once a year. And then my GameCube died.
Has it been re-released at all?
Oh yeah, on the Wii U. So
It's gonna come on
it's gonna be on the Switch at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm aiming for that.
Legit.
And Pip, I take it yours was just watching us play?
No, fuck you. My first Zelda was Ocarina of Time.
Go figure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did play all through Ocarina of Time. It took me forever. Because when I game, either I'm, a casual let's match colors gamer, or I'm sort of button mashy. And also, Legend of Zelda games tend to have huge fucking spiders prominent.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck that noise. But I did play through, all of, Ocarina of Time. And I watched other people play the other ones.
I think you would enjoy Breath of the Wild a lot.
I think I would too, but I worry that it's like too big.
But I'm fairly certain that there aren't any giant spiders in that one.
Really?
I can't remember.
I swear to God, if I play that game and fucking Shelob's in there, I'll murder you. She says lovingly.
That's the thing with the series as a whole, I think does well, is just this note of like exploration. And I think Breath of the Wild really tapped into that.
Oh yeah.
And the more the series grow, there's exploration between each game as you sort of, new connections are made, so you can explore the old games in a new light. If that makes sense.
You're exploring the timeline. Huh?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no. You guys have uncorked the genie in the bottle of discussing the Zelda timelines.
They
Dun, dun, dun.
started it.
That's true. So after waxing philosophic about just our...
Well, that's getting nostalgic.
Yep. Good point. One of the prominent things that comes up often, when discussing Zelda writ large is just rectifying all these games taking place somehow in the same universe when it really had the feeling like each one was just meant to be its own fun experience in and of itself.
Even though it's called The Legend of Zelda, whatever the rest of the title is.
Yeah.
But eventually they kind of settled on more or less 3 timelines that we get to play with.
I remember when I first heard about the 3 timelines. Alex had the
Historia.
The Historia, and he looked at me when there are 3 Zelda timelines, and I sort of looked at him and went, the 3, and it goes back to Ocarina of Time again, because in Ocarina of Time there's time travel. What?
Whoops.
Kids, friends don't let friends time travel. This is what happens.
Don't do it. Because in Ocarina of Time, there is the child Link and adult Link, and you can travel between the two. And eventually, when you're adult Link, you save the world and you travel back to your younger self, and you're cut off from the adult Link timeline. The idea being that you cut off the way that time travel to that point is possible. So that timeline is now never going to happen in the timeline that you're in. Or your timeline isn't going to go to that place. But the thing is, that place still exists in an alternate timeline. Yep. So there's 2. And I stared at him, it's like, child Link, adult Link. And then, because I'm narratively savvy, I went, oh, the one where you fucking failed.
Yeah, because the first time you're playing that game, you die a lot.
Yeah, just because on your save file you can go back and start over. You know, theoretically, that's just it for that character.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
Does The Legend of Zelda operate on the same time travel mechanics as Avengers Endgame?
Link, you must time heist.
I would legit play Legend of Zelda Time Heist.
Right?
We'll work on that in the second part of this program here. You bet.
Shit, I haven't thought through the second half.
Well, now we have a time heist to plan.
We always have a time heist to plan.
That's true.
Yeah, from my understanding, a lot of the fandom's upset by the idea of that 3rd timeline. My theory is being that men don't like to address the fact that sometimes they lose.
Yep.
So with these 3 timelines, there's the timeline that sort of leads up to the timeline that sort of leads up to Ocarina of Time, and then it branches out into 3. So the games that all happen before Ocarina, and then games that happen in one of the 3 timelines.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Because I can see it visually in my head.
As much sense as trying to describe plots that take place in branching timelines do. Yeah, which is, again...
And then Link sees his parents, his siblings, disappear in a photograph.
Oh no. And he plays that the enchantment with the Zora dance.
I mean Under the Sea Dance, it's called.
Yeah. I was trying to... enchantment under Zora Bay.
Under Zora Domain.
Enchantment in Zora's Domain.
Yeah.
There we
go. I'm very proud of both of you.
Impa, there's something I have to tell you about the future.
Anyway,
oh god, that's kind of what happens in Skyward Sword.
Wait, where does Skyward Sword the very first one in the timeline?
Yeah, Chronicle, yeah.
Okay. And so Breath of the Wild is?
The failed Link timeline, I think.
It's not, I don't think it's been officially placed. There's certain theories that it is a timeline collapse. Because,
oh man, I have to play Breath of the Wild.
Cause there are elements from separate timelines, such as the castle town on Square from Majora's Mask, and, well, also there being Rito and Zora together.
Ah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But, there's also the main thing that none of the maps match.
Yeah.
So, really, what we should be investigating are Hyrulean cartographers.
Summon the Hyrulean cartographer.
I mean, maps have mistakes. That's just the nature of maps.
And yet, the entire forest moves from south to north.
I mean, if you're not keeping track of which way is north.
Ents are a thing.
Ents are also a thing. Brendan's answer makes way more sense.
Fuck, they are. They are technically ambulatory trees.
So kind of bringing this back into storytelling.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about the commonalities that happen mostly between all the games, because again, there's always exceptions.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the, how do you call it? The summary thing mentions, the Kingdom of Hyrule, the timeless battles between good and evil, and the secrets of the all-powerful Triforce. Which would you like to investigate first?
Let's talk about the Triforce, because it's basically tied into a big creation myth,
Yep.
I do love me a good creation myth.
And what do you know? The beings that created the world left behind fragments of their own power.
What?
It happens.
And if you gather all three, and I guess when you first gather them, have a pure heart, I guess. Although if you do it again, you don't have to do the requirement, then you can have a wish be granted.
If they're all together when you first encounter them, then you need a pure heart. But if they're scattered and you gather them, then the pure heart isn't needed or something.
I mean, I imagine there's an element of corruption involved, if they've been scattered. I don't know. I don't know.
Either way, when they're scattered, they find those chosen by destiny to
wield it.
Yeah, to best,
exemplify
their virtue, the virtues, who's that they, embody.
Which in this game are power, wisdom, and courage.
And wisdom tends to go to the titular character, Zelda, lest we forget.
Mm-hmm.
Power tends to go to, Ganon or Ganondorf, who tends to be the villain of the piece.
The, aforementioned evil.
Yes. Yeah. And courage goes to our plucky silent, hero, Link.
Who will jump off a fucking cliff in order to hit you with a sword.
Which, don't knock it till you try it.
If it works, it works.
And it works.
Yes, sir.
Because he keeps on being the guy with the Triforce of Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a thing that tends, not in all of the games, but in a lot of them, the cycle of Link going out into the world, meeting Zelda, and defeating, and I think typically with Zelda's help, sealing Ganondorf.
Usually with the Master Sword as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like the Sword of Evil's Bane, which is just more or less confirmation that you are indeed the hero. Huzzah.
Or what narrative device should we take from the West? Arthurian? There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
But let's dress him up like Peter Pan.
Yeah, and usually it's a sword and a stone as well, which, yeah. Although, that wouldn't be Excalibur, that would be, Caliburn, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Maybe.
Excalibur was from the Lady in the Lake, yes.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
People tend to forget that Arthur had two swords.
I think he had a lot of swords, or love.
There was also Clarent as well, which was like the Sword of Justice.
Oh, yeah. Mom and Dad have a short story with the great line that perfect justice isn't something running around loose in the world.
Yep.
Peter Crossman.
We'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, basically, it's a hero myth, and I haven't mapped any of them to see if they follow the hero's journey at all.
No.
No?
Well, Ocarina of Time, maybe.
Even then, it's kind of like a weak following of the hero's journey, because, like, it's not like you're resisting the call to adventure. It's like, hey kid, want to go see the tree? Get a sword. All right.
The Ocarina of Time has a bit of an, I think, interesting structure.
Oh?
Well, in the first 3 levels, you know what you're doing? Going inside a living thing, or at least the body of a living thing. First is the Great Deku Tree.
Mm-hmm.
The next is Dodongo's Cavern, which, when you look at the structure, is just a Dodongo inside another Dodongo inside another Dodongo.
Dodongo's all the way down.
Dongception.
Yeah. If you look at the roof, who knows? Man, those supporting arches are kind of rib-shaped. Oh. And then there's Jabu Jabu's belly, which is, hey there, Jonah and the whale.
I want to point out also that one of those is alive, one of them is dead, and one of them is dying.
Yep.
Just throwing that out there.
Oh, snap.
And then there's when you become an adult.
Through time travel.
Through time travel. And, the order of the temples. The first one you visit is in the forest of your childhood. And you know what it's fucking filled with? Ghosts. Ghosts of your past.
And also ghosts.
Yes.
Literal ghosts.
Yes, that too.
And spiders again.
Yep.
Just like in the Deku Tree. I'm just saying that I was traumatized, you guys.
Yeah. And it is Link letting go of his childhood and of childish things.
I mean, which is
sad.
Concerning what happens at the end, fucking tragic.
Indeed. But next is the Fire Temple and the Water Temple. And you know what those are? Those are purification rituals. Purification by fire and purification and by water. Or that is how you do purification. That is how you forge metal.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying that the real Master Sword is the friends we made along the way?
Yes.
Woohoo!
And then you journey into the land of the dead, which is inside the Shadow Temple, which is just classic hero's journey stuff. And in that he gains the hover boots that let him hover and also walk on water and shit like that.
Yeah, the feather boots.
Yeah.
He also gets the lens of truth, right?
In the child's timeline. And journeys into the underworld lead to True Sight.
Yeah. And one of the weirder fucking bosses.
Oh yeah. Giant and decapitated body that also had
It was this year that I realized that Ongo Bongo, the reason that his hands were so prominent was because he didn't have a fucking head at all.
Oh yeah. Well,
and that's what he was ramming at you was his headless neck.
And after you gain True Sight, what is the final temple you visit? The Spirit Temple. And it is filled with mirrors, and it is just filled with duality. And you know where that is located? In the Gerudo Desert, Ganondorf's homeland. And so that is an examination of Link and Ganondorf, comparing the two.
What I'm getting from this is that Ocarina of Time is the best one and everyone can fight us.
Oh, well.
Wow! How about this? Ocarina of Time is the one I can understand and everyone can fight me.
Majora's Mask, come on.
What I'm saying is that I'm an English major and I can fucking prove it.
Also, a lot of thought is put into all of these games.
Yeah.
And that level of analysis can be put into any one of them.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite bit of fan analysis is a Majora's Mask one by a guy called Hylian Dan that compares the stone tower from Majora's Mask to the Tower of Babel, and looking at the downfall of the kingdom of Akana and how it was brought about by an arrogance and a disrespect of the gods and all that, and it's great. It will be linked,
so to speak. Aha.
Don't fuck around with the gods is also what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
Actually, the gods themselves in this universe don't really seem to do much aside from having created the universe and then just left ultimate power just lying around.
I mean, to be fair, ultimate power is just lying around, but what we hear is the stories of how it happened.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that this is the legend of Zelda, which implies a sort of,
ambiguity?
an ambiguity. I was going to say oral tradition, though a lot of it would be written down by this point.
And then Link was assaulted by chickens.
But, yes. But stories on stories, and stories change. So folk process going on. And that's the reason that the maps don't match.
Boom.
I have a theory that the goddesses, those were actually a highly advanced precursor race.
I think the goddesses were just another form of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf.
Ooh.
I only just thought of that. I have no proof.
The ultimate time heist.
Yes!
Yeah, and also tie-in and mangas don't count as canon.
Haha. Nor do the CDI games.
Is that the same thing as the cartoon that I occasionally see?
No, that's a different thing as well. The Excuse Me Princess thing?
I was gonna say,
different.
of which the only thing I know is Excuse Me Princess, which I feel is a very poor reading of Link.
It is. But then there's also, I'm so hungry I could eat a Dodongo.
An Octorok.
You're right, Octorok.
Yeah, get your memes right, Alex.
Right. But
My boy.
But have you seen the laughing King of Hyrule?
No? Maybe.
Oh. We'll educate you later.
Thanks.
So,
Though I do have one more question, for I want to put those to you all.
oh shoot.
In the various Zelda games, did Link fuck the fish?
God damn it.
Breath of the Wild is the most likely one.
I'm going to say no, because Link is ace, and y'all can fight me.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, sure. He and Minna were definitely in a romantic relationship.
Oh, you can be ace and
No.
asexual, not aromantic.
Yeah. No. I wasn't saying asexual, I was saying romantic.
You asked, did he fuck the fish?
Oh, yeah, but,
I'm saying he didn't, though he may have loved the fish. Respectfully.
To all the fish I've loved before.
Yes. We're not in a Shape of Water situation.
right. Anyways.
Fish I loved before.
And before we go delving into story discussions, I will say, like, when it just comes to pure, like, gameplay stuff, like Breath of the Wild, man, now that we're talking about this for so much, like, I just want to go load it up again.
Yeah.
Maybe like a fresh save file.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason I can't play Breath of the Wild is because my little completionist heart will want to get everything, and I'm not even sure that's possible.
I mean,
It is.
there are 999 Korok seeds.
I would have to find all of them. That's who
And
I
love
am.
every single one of them.
I mean, I guess, but I'm gonna get resentful sooner than I should.
Probably.
But I'm still gonna feel compelled
Yeah.
to do all.
A mighty compulsion.
Yes.
A mighty need.
Yes.
Anyways,
Alright, so, we've talked long enough. Let's talk about what we'd do within the confines of The Legend of Zelda. Bow-wow.
The Law and Order Zelda?
Yeah, oh.
wait, what?
Making a note.
Just the way you said "bow" made me think of the Law and Order noise that now that I'm thinking directly of it, I can't replicate. Mostly because I don't
Dun, dun.
actually watch.
Bum bum.
Yeah, because I don't actually watch Law and Order, so that's not my thing. So I'm gonna go for the obvious,
Okay.
and that is we actually get a game with Zelda as the main playable character instead
That
of
happened
Link.
in one of the CDI games too.
You said we're not counting the CDI games.
I know, but I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, fair. And, maybe Link's the one in the castle who can provide, the light arrows and, the master sword, and give you your musical instrument of the game and look very pretty and distant. And Zelda can go off and have adventures. Or maybe Link is also a girl and they can have lesbian adventures and it'll be great. I like that. Let's go with that. And
Zelda in the green tunic.
yeah. And maybe Ganondorf's also a woman, and thus helping my whole "they were the three goddesses the whole time" argument. In fact, I'm gonna lean into that. They're the fucking goddesses, and that's how it all ends. It turns back in on itself, and they become the ones who create the world and provide the Triforce. That is how I end the series.
Huh. So, like, they kind of realize that, like, the universe is destroying itself, and so enemies become friends?
Maybe. I'm saying that they're trapped in this loop, this endless cycle, where they're reborn, get these Triforce, and are doomed to fight and to suffer. And eventually, it all has to loop back in on itself. They have to close the circle, so that they can finally be fucking free.
Well, if they're closing the loop, aren't they guaranteeing that the cycle continues? That they aren't free?
But they themselves can leave. There's an end point, which is the beginning. Which makes sense if you're me.
The end was the beginning. The beginning was the end. Alright.
This also might be because I've been thinking a lot about time travel. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a time heist.
Listen, y'all should read This Is How You Lose a Time War. Go on.
Alright, so, like, are the characters in this case, like, are they actual, like, goddess level power? Or are they, like, super science? Or what's the deal there? What's the aesthetic?
Well, I do think a super science Zelda would be fascinating.
That's kind of Breath of the Wild Zelda, by the way.
Listen, I get it. You want me to play Breath of the Wild. I understand. Get me a Switch. In my endless campaign to get someone else to buy me one. And also get me Smash Brothers while you're at it. In Stardew Valley. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. But, I don't know. I think at this point, it's too late in the series to do what I'm thinking. But I don't think it matters for the purpose of this exercise. But have it... See, I'm not even sure what I'm thinking will work because of the whole 3 timelines thing, but whatever!
Time travel. No. Anything can work with time travel.
True, and Alex did say that one of the theories is that time is collapsing back in on itself. So I can still make this work.
Oh, yeah.
But as the series goes on, and going back and forth on the timeline with the games could help
Obfuscate?
Can help hide what's going on, but have it clear that as the timeline progresses, even if they're new bodies, they're getting more weary. And maybe they're getting powers earlier, or they're understanding things sooner, even if they don't understand why they know. And maybe things start breaking down around them.
What if the Zelda, the wisdom embodiment person gets, for lack of a better term, woke much earlier, like millennia earlier? So like, and she's like retaining memories each time, and it's just like banging her head against a wall.
To be fair, you don't have any proof that she hasn't, because she's not the viewpoint character.
True. It's like, eventually, she can be like, yeah, I tried telling you guys earlier before, but then y'all end up going crazy.
Yeah, and there's no reason to believe we've seen all of the reincarnations.
True.
So really, this is just a more tragic, weird version of Groundhog's Day, where the same thing's always going to happen. And you can't change the end event, but you're hoping maybe you can. And the next day you're going to wake up and it's going to be different.
It doesn't help that the Ganondorf analog always ends up trying to take over the world. I mean, come on, buddy.
Maybe because, he sees what's happening, but he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The impulse. Poor impulse control.
It is a cycle that never ends.
I suddenly saw in my head, because I can't help but be Catholic on main, just a snippet of conversation between Ganon and Zelda, with one of them saying, come and see. And the other one saying, I saw. And poor, like, in the background going, what?
Huh?
But yeah, so just as the timeline goes on, you see it breaking down and seeing them become more weary and figuring out a way to break out. And you see, I don't know how they do it, but you see through the games the bits and pieces of how to do it.
That's actually similar to an idea I had, where it's like Ganondorf, who is the weary one. And like, I just want to die now. Like,
you shared with me that comic someone did on Tumblr of like a moment where they all 3 of them recognize themselves for being in the cycle that they are and knowing the way that it has to end. And Ganondorf just telling Link, it's okay. You can do this.
Yeah.
Seal me away and we can be done with this.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like, with Breath of the Wild, before it was starting, one of my pet theories was that, the old man was, Ganondorf in disguise.
I do like an idea of somewhere a secretly good Ganon.
Yeah, well, like, I want, at some point, the old man, because that's another Zelda trope of, of the old man being Ganondorf, who's doing the, it's dangerous to go alone, take this.
Oh, another classic Zelda line.
Yeah.
I'd argue that, the Ganondorf in Wind Waker.
Oh, yeah.
Was kind of the world-weary one.
Well, because his dream was gone. Hyrule is flooded. There is no more Hyrule.
Which timeline is that one in?
Adult timeline.
That happens, yeah. Oh, yeah, because the world...
Because there was no...
there was no Link.
He got sent back in time.
Fucking right.
It's fucking depressing. Yeah, and like...
Way to go, Zelda.
No, like...
Good job breaking it, hero.
And he had spent centuries just ruminating on it, and just like... And like, that line... I coveted that wind, I suppose. Just like, breaks your heart.
Aw.
Because you can imagine that there was at some point when Ganondorf was just a young, ambitious man who wanted to better the lot of his people. And at some point,
everything went wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic corruption story.
It is.
I would also like to point out how Wind Waker, because the world is covered in water is a common creation, myth component.
Oh, yeah.
Just to keep going on that theme.
All right. Al, do you have a story?
Yeah, I have a few. One that I would like is a modern setting one.
Okay.
Oh.
Like, it's been done in fanfics several times, cause in Breath of the Wild we saw the Sheikah technology, and like, let's see that technology advance further. And this time, it's no longer Princess Zelda, but Zelda Johansson of the castle. Johansson, and like, their family has been senators for like ever. And Link's a kid in a green hoodie.
I'm glad he didn't make him like Link's a cop.
Oh, no.
Link wouldn't be a fucking cop.
No, man.
I'm kind of glad. I mean, or Private Eye Link or whatever.
No, Link's always just a dude who chills out.
He's a kid who finds a magic sword.
Yeah, like, holy shit, a sword! Put that away!
Link also always struck me as vaguely useless if he didn't have that one really great talent.
Actually, he's a good stable hand.
True.
Mainly because he's not afraid of the animals.
Except for the chickens.
Always be afraid of the chickens.
Fucking chickens.
Like, another element I want to put in is kind of similar to yours, Pip, but like also kind of the opposite, in that like, they're still bound by destiny, but their qualities are degrading.
Oh.
Yeah, like, at this point, the Zelda is just your regular straight-A student, whereas the Zeldas before her have been accomplishing magic from a young age. She's just like a straight-A student and will probably do a pre-law college degree. And Link is now does a few extreme sports, but not like super extreme, just like goes base jumping every once in a while, you know?
Fair. He once did a sick ollie down a stair thing.
Yeah, down
a rail.
Yeah.
A
rail.
Oh man,
And it's a grind down a rail, Pip.
Okay, Tony Hawk. Do you think Link knows those terms?
And meanwhile, Ganondorf is still around. He's now your a standard villain trope, evil executive. But like, at this point, he's just old.
Executive of not even a top tier company.
Ooh, yeah.
Ganondorf, the middle management.
But then destiny strikes. No, that was too extra.
How? Well, how does destiny strike?
Ganon, as usual, starts making his moves. And Zelda starts getting her premonitions, and she doesn't know what the fuck. Link starts getting his calls to adventure, or sometimes literally on his cell phone, who knows.
That'd be funny. Also, I moved Zelda up to grad school, and then I thought about grad students getting sun visions, and then them immediately going, I need to get more sleep.
Yeah. So yeah, and then monsters start appearing again. Like, did you hear that there was a bokoblin on Medali Street? Like, what is happening these days?
And I'm guessing that mundane weapons do nothing.
I mean, maybe. Depends on how you want to make the game. Do you want to give Link a gun, Bren? Do you want to give Link a gun?
I know, I'm saying...
I want to give Zelda a gun.
Light gun. But not like, they were making fun of the kid who found a sword, but then all of a sudden, the kid is beating ass when nobody else could.
Yeah. So, just some stuff I'd like to see.
Okay. I joked about this earlier, but let's do a time heist, people.
Nice.
'Cause while Breath of the Wild might be taking place in a post-collapsed timeline, how do we get a collapsed timeline in the first place? That's where Height of Sheikah technology Zelda takes place, and the Zelda there, that timeline working together maybe with Dr. Ganondorf, who knows? Or Dr.
Dorf.
Dr. Dorf. Everybody makes fun of Dr. Dorf, but they're working on, maybe trying to extract energy from other dimensions or something crazy like that. Nice sci-fi element there. But maybe Link is, I wouldn't say like a research assistant because that's not really his thing, but is just maybe patrolling in the area there when things go wrong. And we get like little time portals opening up all over the place and go into one, and all of a sudden you're like zapped back to Ocarina of Time, to Link's Awakening, to all these other games, and you're basically trying to seal the various rifts that have been opening, but it's like one of those Hydra head situations, like every single one that you're closing up, another two open up in its stead. Mm-hmm. And then maybe the big bad isn't even Ganondorf or anything like that. It might be one of the things that we haven't talked about is that there is like I want to say an all goddess, but there kind of is the goddess Hylia.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Does that put a hint in my story?
Nah.
Oh good.
Nah. Because, she's like kind of playing behind the scenes here and has observed the fact that the timelines have gotten all kinds of screwy while she's been off faffing about the universe. Who knows? So that's where it gets revealed that like these little time holes opening up are just basically attempts to bridge the gaps between the timelines. But then in trying to seal these rifts, it's just kind of accelerated this big temporal collapse. And it's a big fight at the finish somehow to essentially make sure that everyone lives. Because just imagine like having to deal with a separate timelines Ganon suddenly seeing that there's other universes, other Hyrules to conquer, that kind of stuff.
I'll take that one.
That one has plenty of land. Yeah. And, just kind of a excuse to have like even more fun, blue glow energy swords and all that, which I thought were really nifty in Breath of the Wild.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the concept I'm going with here is Zelda collapse. The time heist.
Legit. Basically, I think I do want to see the theory Alex talked about actually happen in one way or another.
I just think it'd be a fun situation to play through. Just imagine like the final levels where you just get like trippy space-time stuff happening.
It's the end of Final Fantasy VIII.
Well, I was thinking more like the end of Into the Spider-Verse with all that craziness happening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Either or, really.
How about a combination of the two?
Can we get Hobo Link?
Sure.
Played by Jake Johnson.
Yes. Oh, he's gonna teach Link Prime in our timeline of interest here the ropes of being Link. We just need Jake Johnson voicing a character somehow.
Yeah.
In my timeline, Longland Ranch closed down 10 years ago.
They make the best milk. Anyways, So, do you guys have anything else for Zelda Collapse?
Is it weird that I want Zelda to have a lightsaber in this? Is that weird?
I mean, that's kind of what the Sheikah weapons are, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I'll get to it. God damn it.
Oh, Pip, depending on if you get the Wii U version or not, you could mod Zelda into the game.
Ugh, that's so much effort, though. I won't even mod Stardew Valley.
Wow.
All right. So now that we've discussed that, who's ready for a game?
Ooh.
I think I was thinking of Laundry Day earlier.
Want to do Laundry Day?
Oh, no, what happened? I was thinking of a modification of Laundry Day.
Oh?
You're okay. Okay, explain, Pep.
Which is what happens after the story ends.
Oh, I've got a few.
Oh, okay.
And keeping in mind this is a franchise, so what happens is the next game. But, whatever.
No, immediately at the conclusion of the game, 2 weeks pass by, go.
Right.
Majora's Mask. Yes, sorry. I was just saying Majora's Mask happens immediately after
Oh, yeah.
Ocarina of Time.
After, yep.
Right, I will go first then. At the end of Twilight Princess.
Uh-huh.
I want work acquaintances Zelda and Link.
Okay.
Well, cause in that game, Link and Zelda meet twice. Well, like three times. 2 of those times, he's in wolf form. And last time, they are fighting Ganondorf and seeing Minna off.
Yeah.
And really, they're both Minna's friends. And like, not really friends with each other.
An awkward social situation.
Right. And so, it's like, oh, you're still here.
Oh, hey! You?
And like, Link's like, oh, yeah, like, little late, I guess, but, like, I'm from Ordon. We officially became a, provenance of,
Province, yeah.
of, Hyrule, and I was selected to, bring you a royal gift.
Is Link wondering the entire time if he's supposed to bow at this point?
Yes.
It's this sword. I had to. It's a little used. Had to. It got stabbed into some. It got stabbed into some goblins.
Awkwardly wipes it on his pants.
Yeah. So here, it came with a shield. The shield is gone.
The shield got burned when I went to the volcano.
So, yeah. Like, I was like, okay, you just did a tremendous service for Hyrule. I hereby knight you, and, of course, since this seems to have ended up being a kind of secret war, do you mind kindly, fucking off?
Thank you for your service. Go away.
Please go.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a girl back home, though that's going to be awkward.
Yeah, I've got other plans.
That's going to be awkward now. Oh, that I've fallen in love with a mysterious princess from another world. I'm flattered. No, I was talking about Minna. Oh, right.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Hard same.
Like,
and that moment is when, like, they kind of see that maybe after a couple of years they could become friends.
After a couple of years, like after a few, hey, official Magic Destiny mission.
Alex.
Yeah?
Alex, I want you to write the letters that they write after this.
I've made a few false starts on these.
Yeah.
I will say that they do bond on the day that Midna had to leave. It's kind of like an anniversary.
Oh, yeah, sure. Or they have a solemn drink.
Yes.
Pour one out for our homegirl.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, there's a bar.
Telma's.
Like, in Canada.
Yeah, there's Telma's. Like, Minna liked the stuff. Did she really drink it? I don't know.
Minna had poor taste.
She did. Zelda looks pointedly at Link.
But yeah, so I want, at best, work acquaintances Link and Zelda.
Okay.
So, here's the problem I'm having.
Yeah, what is it?
I suggested this. It was my idea. But the only Zelda, as mentioned, I ever played was Ocarina of Time. And we canonically know what happens, 2 weeks after the end of the game. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask happens.
Yep.
I don't know. Majora's Mask is the one I second know most about, because I watched other people play it a lot. And it's the same 3 days over and over again. Again, time travel. And the things you can't avoid always happening. And maybe the hope and the dream that maybe tomorrow will happen. Oh God, that's depressing.
Yep.
And here's the thing. There's no reason to believe at the end of Majora's Mask it stops being any more depressing. Except, sure, the tomorrow comes, but Link is left with nothing.
Aww.
No. He made some friends. He got some masks.
Termina, the land of the fucking dead, and you can't tell me otherwise.
I could have some words about that.
I'm not convinced that Termina is actually real. I think it's a weird other plane. Where maybe Link was meant to go through the stages of grief and come out at acceptance. But here's the thing. Link went through some really traumatic stuff. And at the end of the events of Ocarina of Time, he has lost his childhood. His destiny is already done. He's got some people he could talk. Maybe he goes and hangs out with. No, Darunia is gone.
No.
Isn't he?
No.
No, he is in the future.
Yep. And he also has
Maybe he goes and hangs out with Darunia.
And he's got a fish fiancé.
That he does.
And or does he go back to before the start of the... It's weird.
Well,
it's weird. Yeah.
Cause he had to give back the ocarina.
He has a friend of the ranch girl, Malon, because he does borrow her horse.
Mm-hmm.
True. I guess a lot of it depends on how far back he goes.
We do know that he at least grows to adulthood, because the hero's shade is an adult.
Yeah, wait, is that from that timeline?
Huh? Yeah. Twilight Princess's child timeline.
Oh, I assumed that it would have been the failed timeline, because he fucking failed.
No, in Twilight Princess, by some cosmic joke, as they're executing Ganondorf, the Triforce of Power appears on his hand.
Wait, fucking what?
Because, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, because Ganondorf gained the Triforce in one timeline, he got it in the other timeline as well.
Oh, that's some timey-wimey bullshit.
It is the Triforce of Power.
I guess.
The Triforce of Hacks.
Pretty much. So, this means, no matter what, in Ocarina of Time, Link failed.
Ocarina of Time, fucking depressing.
Right?
Haha.
God damn it.
That's one of the reasons why people have a problem with the timeline theory. the Zelda timeline.
I was fine until that one thing.
Until you... well, it's also why the Ganondorf in the child timeline is kind of just hammy.
Yeah, what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Link goes off and is the stable hand for Manon. They fall in love. They get married. It's a happy time until the world fucking ends.
Hooray!
Well, no, the world doesn't end because Ganondorf got banished to the Twilight Realm.
What is this game? We have 5 minutes left and I was so close to getting through it. Fucking fine. There was gonna be time travel shit and I was like, no, whatever, it's fine, I've worked it out. Then, in the last possible moment, oh, by the way, Ganondorf still won, but at the same time, failed too. What even is this?
Twilight Princess.
This has been Pippin Rants.
Your turn, Bren.
Yes. Oh, okay. So, I had a couple ideas floating around my head, cause the jokey one was the immediate follow-up from, Link to the Past after Link gets ultimate power and gets all his wishes granted.
Yeah, he got
cause there's a little montage that shows
this game?
the SNES one, Pep. It just has like a little montage scene showing like all the good stuff that Link wished for and gets granted.
Did he wish for world peace?
He what?
Practically.
He wished for his uncle to be alive.
That's some monkey paw shit.
Well, that's one thing that could happen. Or it's just like, just imagine walking through town and be like, hey, Link, thanks for reviving my grandpa. You got it.
Why didn't you?
You can see by the way I walk that I'm sorry.
Wish granted, boy.
Why didn't you bring back my grandma, though? She knows what she did.
She knows why.
That being said, like, let's get hyped for any Breath of the Wild sequels.
Yeah.
Is that the one where it looks like Zelda might actually be a playable character?
I mean, they cut her hair, and that's usually...
And broke her throne? Sorry, you go on. I made a dumb hallelujah joke.
Yeah. Cause, you know what's annoying for game devs to deal with? Hair clipping through character models. And you know what? That's an easy way of taking care of that? Haircuts.
Huzzah. So I legit just want to have the two of them have a happy time. Like, Link restored a village, or made a village from scratch. Maybe they go hang out there for a little while, like, before whatever next BS they encounter in their travels.
Yeah. So it's called Terrytown. Yep. And one of the requirements is that everyone has a name that ends in sun. Yes. So why isn't it called Suntown? And smash cut to them running away from Terrytown. I don't know why they're so upset.
But no, like, I just want to have, like, the little moment where, even in the goofy Link's Awakening, wish granting everything, timeline there, like, Link goes back to his house, takes the shield off, hangs up the sword on the wall, puts his feet up on the coffee table, and finally just gets to relax. 'Cause being a hero, it's tiring work, you guys. We never see Link really, like, chillax or anything like that.
True.
Scared Sword, he just kind of flumps onto every Betty's feet.
That's true.
Hashtag same.
And Breath of the Wild, you can like sleep at campfires and at inns for like bonuses too.
I know. I just, a moment of respite from a chaotic world. Respite? Oh, whatever. It's just a nice bit.
I can just imagine him going home, sitting down, and then going, who the fuck came in and broke all of my pots?
Cut to black. Yeah, so that's just me. A little goofy bit.
Yeah.
Legit.
Alright. So, yeah, that was Legend of Zelda, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, left to our own devices, I'm sure we could talk about this for another 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about them on Twitter.
I haven't even gotten to Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
Oh, no.
Bless.
Alright. So, Pip, can you take us out?
As always, if you have an idea or prompt to submit, head on over to nostoriessacred.com/submission. Follow us on Twitter at nostoriessacred, or send us an email through contact@nostoriessacred.com. Your hosts have been Alex McDonald, Brendan McDonald, Pippin McDonald, and Catherine Crichton, sort of. Editing for this episode done by Brendan. Transcript done by Ashley DaCosta. Art by Jay Wolf. Show notes and transcript are available at nostoriessacred.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. And please rate, review, and subscribe to No Story is Sacred. You can also visit our Patreon page to support the show and get neat rewards at patreon.com/nostoriessacred. See you next time, where we promise this time we'll talk about the movie A Fish Called Wanda. Until then, where no story is sacred, and any story can be changed. I'm Pippin.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Brendan.
And we're
No Story is Sacred.